are back. We've been discussing on the question, do feminism and marriage mix? And I've been having a very interesting conversation with Olalua and Musumola. And right now, I have the boss lady on set with me. I'm talking about none other but Mrs. Temitokwe Olagwegi. Tokwe, yeah, welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, just push us into it gradually. How long have you been married?
I've been married now for 18 years.
18 years. That's a matured marriage because
Yes.
18 is a number of maturity.
Yes.
All right. So, as a confirmed feminist and someone who advocates for women empowerment and wants to, put women together, empower them, get them to uh, do something great with their lives, I want to hear your perspective to feminism. How does that work for you? Yeah.
Um, so I guess this is where I struggle because I wouldn't consider myself a feminist.
Okay.
As much as I believe in the ideologies of feminism, I sometimes feel that there is some confusion and it's bordering on misandry. So many people who are advocating for women to do better and be better empowered somehow begin to um, discountenance the role of a man or basically want to strip the man of his own rights. Yeah.
So you're saying that it's possible to, you know, go beyond certain limits and then it refuses to fulfill the essentialities and the purpose
Absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
now talking about that, there's a brand of feminism that is kind of off-putting to some men. Some men feel that ladies want to ride rough shots on them, and stuff like that. Do you think that those brands of feminism really will not work well in marriage?
Yes. There's the modern woman
Yeah.
who is being indoctrinated into the feminist movement. She doesn't have core her own ideals. They're usually and often borrowed and very often baseless. Yeah. Um, a woman who isn't wholesome and doesn't know herself and doesn't know her role and hasn't accepted how she's been created. Once some prejudice happens, she begins to feel there's something she needs or a point she needs to prove. Yeah. And clearly, marriage is difficult enough. When these borrowed ideologies begin to come to play, it's almost the stage set up for disaster.
Okay, so let's get a bit practical.
Yeah.
Um, as a converted feminist or whatever, a single lady who is getting into marriage, can we look at the pitfalls? Where are those pitfalls? The things to watch out for.
A major one is the roles.
Okay.
I personally haven't been married this long. I want to believe that marriage is based on love, and love has so much to do with respect. When I come into this equation, feeling or finding the need to defend myself, then there's something wrong with the institution and everything that it's standing for. I don't think I should enter marriage as a single woman thinking I need to defend myself because we are apparently supposed to be one. Yeah. And so if I am put down, if I am ridden on, it's not, there is a function, there's a problem with the marriage and not
Function.
necessarily with me having to defend myself. I don't know if I
And
came across.
yeah, I get you, clearly. But let's look at that from the point of view of the respect that men are always asking for. Women ask for respect. A man doesn't care whether you are a feminist or otherwise. A man wants to be respected. So, ladies, you're single. Do you want to speak to that? Where do we create a balance between I'm a feminist and this is a man that wants to be, respected and cared for and all that? But Tope has been in this for 18 years. Obviously, for her to be that long in marriage, she's shown some concern,
I've
some
seen her in
respect,
action with her
you
husband.
know.
She's actually very caring. Like we were wedding together. Her husband came a bit late, and before he had come, she had put together food. So once he came, he had food, drinks. So she didn't have to wait that someone would come and serve him. She had arranged everything, and I was like, okay,
So
she
she
really
kind
knows
of
her
treats her
business.
husband like a king,
She
from what you're
does.
saying
Like
now. And
I
I didn't
really
even know
liked
you
it.
you
I,
you,
I
you
really
know
liked
about
it.
that. So how does that fit into this feminism discussion? That honor, regard, and respect for a man.
Personally, I would never be friends, not even marry. I would never be friends with anyone that I don't respect. Respect is really important. I respect my parents, I respect my siblings, I respect my friends. So I can't marry a man that I don't hold in high regards. So the respect he wants, he will get it because before we enter that marriage agreement, the respect is there. I feel strongly about because I also want to be respected, and it's very important that she should be willing to give what you want. So you must give what you want to take. So I can't ask you to respect me and
But
I'm not
but
respecting you.
the discussion around equality can be misconstrued for lack of respect because if for a man that thinks that real respect is when I can have my way, and you're saying no, you can't always have your way. It has to be, there has to be a balance. So how do we strike that balance, Oladua?
I would really like to jump in here because there's a lot of confusion around the term feminist or feminism, as it were. Feminism does not champion disrespecting your spouse, whether male or female. And I think this is one message I've always really wanted to get out there. As feminists, there are lesbian feminists, there are atheist feminists, there are Christian feminists, there are Buddhist feminists, there are Muslim feminists. We would be very naive to think that, one voice will speak for all feminists. So maybe when you go online and see a feminist saying that she or he doesn't believe in the family institution, people just jump on it and say feminism is questioning family values. Feminism wants to destroy all of us. Feminism wants to ensure that we no longer respect the family institution. And that's one thing we always have to keep at the back of our mind. Like religion, no one voice speaks for feminism. So we have to clarify that feminism means equal rights to social amenities, to political spaces, not contesting for, being men. Not that women want to be men. We are different,
So there's a
right? But we
baseline
can
for
be,
feminism,
yes, we
which
can
is
be
equal
equally,
right
yes, equally
on
respected and
socioeconomic
with
issues,
dignity.
and all that,
Exactly.
and life and dignity.
Exactly.
Not necessarily how I respect one culture or this and that, because just like you said, there are many voices for
Yes.
feminism, and when we pick a particular voice, it can be
Yes.
tilted,
Anyway.
yeah, it can be a bit obtuse,
Yes.
so we need to look at feminism from the point of view of who is agitating here. Yeah, and is this a balanced way to agitate? Now, talking about that topic, I wanted to speak to a young lady that wants to get married but wants to be able to strike equality from a feminist point of view. Let's not even tag this lady feminist or not. She just likes equality. How do you create that balance and still be able to keep a man and keep a home together?
I'm not going to say fairly easy, but um, for a young woman in a relationship, the foundation and the bedrock of your marriage starts when you're courting. What are the things that you feel strongly about, and what are the things you would let slide? Equality can mean different things to different people.
Yes.
In the context of marriage, some people would advocate that as many times as they drop the children at school is as many times as their partner should drop their children at school. Whereas for some other person or some other couple, it may mean if you're taking care of the kids, you know, I'll take care of the fees, you know. And so spelling it out from the get go I think is really important to the success of the marriage. What are the things that he feels strongly about, and what are the things that she feels strongly about? And reaching middle ground is essential.
Okay.
But I just want to chip this in that I also think it is important for couples to understand that they are on the same team.
Yeah.
And it is when we get it twisted, that we feel the need to defend ourselves. As long as we're working for a common goal, I don't really see why who does should really matter.
That's great.
Sorry, can I
Thank you
ask
for.
something?
All right. Yeah.
The last point you just made now.
Yeah.
I think that maybe why people emphasize on that is not to feel taken advantage of or someone is taking them for granted. Because at the end of the day, we're humans. I don't want to feel like I put my all in it and you're just doing 50%.
Right.
Like you could do better. If I think you could do better, I would genuinely want you to do better. Yeah. I won't want you to leave me to do everything when you can pull your weight.
Okay.
So I think that would be an issue.
So meet me, at a good point, halfway, open communication.
Yes.
Perhaps let's even get into some sort of agreement ahead of time about certain things, and let's do our best to meet those expectations.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take our last question, and this time around is from social media. We allow our followers on social media to ask us questions, and I want to just take that, and any of us can go for it, and maybe Topper will do justice to that. The question goes like this: I want my future wife to cook for me, not because I think it's a place, as in that's our main function, but because it's one way I feel loved and cared for. Should I not be able to ask my wife to cook for me? So this person says, eating my wife's food is my love language. Yeah, that's the way I know that I'm loved by this woman. And from all the part of the episode today, from the questions you guys have answered, we've seen that you're not so heavy about this food thing, but somebody says it's my love language. So how do we go about it?
I want to borrow a leaf from what she said. She really dropped very, very nice nuggets in her last remark. She said that, you talk about these things during courtship. It would be really unfair to, for that kind of guy to court someone who really is not pumped about cooking. The person would rather outsource it. It would be unfair.
So like you're saying now that this guy should go and look for a very domesticated young lady,
I mean, it's
mama's girl.
The way people see this is like cooking is a default for women. Nobody came to the world with cooking skills. Everybody learnt it. Some people are more excited about it, others are not. They are male chefs. It's not it's not an exclusive preserve of women. But if he says, I want my wife to be able to prepare meals, I mean, fine and good. Just, look in the right market. That's the advice I have for him.
So check out your market before you strike. Don't go shopping at the wrong supermarket or shopping mall. All right. On that note, I will want to first and foremost say that it's been very nice talking to you, ladies. I also would like to say that I really salute your courage to be able to speak out and say your mind about feminism and equality between man and woman. I know that from this discussion, you have been able to put forward the fact that your idea of feminism is not just treating men anyhow, but striking the balance and the equality that should exist in a home, and how we take responsibility for making things work. Again, I want to say thank you for joining me on the show. Mosun, Ola, and Temitope, thank you for contributing those powerful nuggets like Ola calls them. Thank you very, very much. Now, we're going to take a break, and when I'm back, I'm going to just put some final thoughts to this discussion on marriage and feminism. Don't go away, stay with me, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. Final thoughts on feminism and marriage. Where's the intersection? The very important thing to note is that In spite of your ideas about feminism, a man wants to be treated right. A man wants to be honored, respected, and cherished and treated like a king. So, feminism is about equality. But in the midst of this equality, we want a situation where our men are respected and love shows respect. So, strive for equality. Seek to be treated well, but you also have to be out to give and to treat a man well. And on that basis, we know that marriage and feminism can mix together, and a feminist can have a good marriage and a fantastic marriage. And on that note, I'm drawing the curtain on this edition of the Better Half Show. I'll come your way soon on another episode of the Better Half Show. May your marriage and relationships be sweet.